welcome everybody to the Check-In Podcast. What's up? What's going on? We back. I got my son Jaymin with us today. What's up, bro?
My boy, thank you for having me, bro.
Of course, man.
I appreciate this a lot.
Yo, first and foremost, man, how are you feeling, bro? What's up?
So right now I'm feeling good. I am currently, I had a long day, just work. My days consist of just work, school, and music. Mm-hmm. So typically, physically, I'm tired, but one part about what I do is that it never does feel like work for me.
Yeah.
So it's I don't complain about it. I don't complain about how long my days are because I just typically love doing what I do. So I'm all right, bro. I can't complain. How are you?
Bro, I'm great, honestly.
It's been a minute since I've seen you though. How have you been though?
I've been good, man. Just, working the new job, you know what I mean? It's been beautiful there. You know what I'm saying? No complaints from nothing there, honestly. It's great there. I've been slacking in the content creation part of my life. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
Now, like I was telling you before, I'm having my schedule now, so I'm trying to stick to my schedule.
Yeah.
Gym, whatever it is. I think I mentioned that in the last podcast. Gym, music. You know what I'm saying? Streaming. I'm gonna try to do that podcasting too. That's gonna be all implemented into my life now.
Fire, bro. So I saw your schedule, and your schedule is definitely jam packed.
Yeah.
And like I was telling you before, my schedule is pretty jam packed too. So I definitely feel you. But honestly, I think there's an upside to that. I mean, personally, I've there's been points in my life where I've had so much time, and comparing those times to now where I don't have much time at all. Yeah. I kind of like this better because it teaches me time management and it teaches me to make time if need be. Yeah. And which is a skill that I never really possessed prior to having it, prior to not having any time. So I'm grateful to, have the jam-packed schedule that I do have in a sense.
Definitely. Time management is super important, and I definitely suck in time management. That was never my thing. I was the kid in high school that waited. I still do that shit. I'm not even gonna stunt. I still do that shit. I wait till the last minute for everything, bro. I'm the type to stay up till 4 a.m., 5 a.m. writing a paper that's due at 6 a.m.
Bro, I'm in school right now, and the best shit that my best work. Well, I don't like using this as kind of sounds like an excuse to be lazy, but for real, my best work comes when my assignment is due, say at 11:59 p.m. I'm probably not gonna do it until after work at I'm gonna shower first. I'm gonna eat. I'll probably by that time be 10, and then it could be a 5-page assignment. I'll do that within 2 hours. You feel me? Just because I know it has to get done, and. Yeah, so
exactly.
I'm gonna just do it right there, and I'm gonna make sure it's good quality wise, because that's just me as a person. I want to make sure everything's good.
No, yeah, 100, bro.
Kind of a perfectionist.
So when it comes to that, you work well under pressure.
I do. Yes,
yeah,
I do. It hasn't always been like that, but yeah, definitely, I definitely
bro,
do that.
Man,
you said, my fault, cut you off, but you said before about how you were slacking with the content creation. And you haven't been making as much content as you might want to. Me, myself, I personally, for those that don't know, I'm an artist. I've been making music since. Well, I'm also on the Talent Talk podcast.
Yeah, he was on Talent Talk. Yeah.
But I'm an artist. I've been rapping for since I was 18. I'm turning 24, so about 5 years now, almost 6 years. And so this was these last 12 months, I haven't put a thing out. I haven't this was kind of I was in a transition period in my life, and maybe I'll talk more about this later, but I was in a transition period. I still am, so I really wasn't taking the time to create as much because I was going through a bunch of new things, not necessarily bad things, but just new things such as my jobs and time management and learning to deal with so many different things at once, and I just didn't have the time to put that out there. And shit, bro, time management is something so key, and I've learned that recently.
It's if you don't have time management, bro, it's you when it comes to my thoughts and what I gotta do during the day.
Yeah.
when it comes to and mental health too, mental health plays a role in everything, bro.
Yeah.
Like you don't really realize it. Like I have ADHD.
Okay.
So like when it comes to like thinking about things I have to do,
Yeah.
like if I get overwhelmed. I'm
Yeah.
not even gonna hold you. Like I get overwhelmed to the point where I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't have my thoughts processed and like I don't think things through like out like day by day, like okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. I kind of just jumble them all together, and it makes it so much that I just don't do it. Like I just stay in bed, sleep, and do whatever. That's why I made my schedule and like I got a vision board so I could kind of like process my thoughts better.
Yeah.
And I've been reading up on things like that too, like ADHD and like how to like overcome like ADHD and like that motivation. That motivation factor is like it's key. But like the motivation is weird because you'll have motivation one day. Like last night I had motivation. I was like, yo, I was up at like 4 a.m. I told you I was up at 4 a.m. watching videos on podcasting, on singing, on Twitch, on whatever, like and I was like, damn, like I need to do this. Like I had the motivation then. Then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, fuck, I want to sleep. You know what I mean? And I think about like all the things I need to do and I'm like, damn, that's so much. Like like I don't even think I could do it. And I've been reading up on stuff like that. Like it's better to like break things down into smaller pieces. That way, like you accomplish things better that way. So instead of thinking like, oh, I gotta do this, that, there, whatever. It's more so like, let me get over this one step to get to the next one. So like, okay, I know I gotta record my podcast today, so I'll go and record my podcast today, and then I'll think about whatever I need to do after that. Once that's done, okay, cool. I know I got work tomorrow. Cool. I'll do that, and then so on and so forth, and then you keep going with that, just breaking things down into smaller bits and pieces. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's just crazy, bro.
It's crazy. Like as you were saying, I was just thinking to myself, like it's crazy how basic, like generally speaking, like how basic organization really plays like such a part in the way that you think. Like outside of the things that you're organizing, like it really plays such a big part, because if you're not organized, if your thoughts aren't together and not organized, then it's going to more times than not cause some sort of anxiety. And if you're not a self-aware person, it's going to fall you that much deeper into a hole, because you don't know what you're dealing with if you're not a self-aware person. So organization and kind of breaking things down and making sure that everything is set up perfectly to the way that you need it to be, so that you won't forget certain things or you won't get too overwhelmed. That it's key, bro, because it plays a part. It plays a part in other things as well, like just how how you handle other situations as well, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, bro. So, it plays a part in mental health, man. Mental health, like you being organized is just better, like for your mental health overall, because now you have, you got to do these things, you're breaking them down, and you just attack them in a more efficient way, rather than just getting overwhelmed, feeling anxious because you have all these things to do, and like you're just like, damn, like I gotta do this, and like whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So something that like I've definitely since like we went into a pandemic, something that I have definitely created time for is meditation.
Oh,
and now when I first started meditating, that shit was hard, bro. Because I've had to learn a lot about meditation before I actually got quote unquote good at it, because meditating involves a lot of energy, and like sometimes, like for example, like if I'm tired, it's hard for me to meditate. Like at night, like if I'm just had a long day and like I'm anxious, if I'm feeling anxious, I know I probably should meditate, but it's harder to meditate when you don't have that energy, because you need to really focus and focus on yourself and your breath, and just kind of making yourself centered. And like that requires practice, and it requires energy. And that is something that like I took upon myself to get to become aware about and get good at, because it's definitely made my life way I want to say, I guess I'll just say easier. Like it definitely made my life easier in the sense of anxiety and panicking in situations that like I usually would panic in.
No, yeah, 100%. Meditation is something I'm still working on because like it's hard to just clear your mind.
What do you do to meditate?
I kind of just try, like I listen to those meditation videos on
You use
YouTube.
guided meditations.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, so I listen to those videos on YouTube, and I just sit there in my bed, kind of just focus on my breathing and try to calm down. But the issue I'm having is like when I'm meditating, all these other thoughts flow into my head. So it's like I'm trying to focus on like my breathing and like being centered, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta do this tomorrow.
It's hard.
Or like, next week
That shit
I'm
is
going
hard,
away, or like whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But the thing is like, so something that I've been trying to practice is instead of like derailing my whole meditation period from random thoughts that I get in my head, is to just let them go. Like think about it, see it as like
allow them
to just go. Like
allow them to be present for a second, and then let them go.
Exactly. That's something that I'm practicing.
Key to meditation.
Yeah.
So like something like shit, a lot like just a little off topic but on topic with meditation is that a lot of people think that like when you meditate, like for instance, like I have a friend, and they were telling me, oh, like I'm done with meditation, it never works for me, blah blah. I'm like, what makes you say that? And this person said to me that, I meditated and like I don't feel better. And like a lot of people feel like that have never meditated a day before in their life, that have a lot of anxiety and would rather kind of resort to like smoking or like other things like other vices.
Yeah.
A lot of people think meditation can be treated as a vice in the sense of once you're done meditating, you're going to feel differently. All meditating is organizing your thoughts and putting yourself in the moment.
Yeah.
That is the basis of meditation. Sure, there's advanced levels to meditation that I haven't gotten to yet, but the basis of meditation is literally just organizing your thoughts and becoming one with the moment and being present in the moment and understanding that you right now in the moment is all you can control and you're okay in that very moment.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not supposed to feel like a sense of like happiness. You're not supposed to feel any different emotion. You're just supposed to be centered within yourself. And a lot of people take meditation as like something that is gonna like get you high or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not that.
Yeah, no,
that's
100%.
like a common like misconception. I feel like because that's what I felt that like before I meditated myself. Like that's exactly what I thought. Maybe I'm naive for that. Maybe I was being naive for that. Actually, I know I was naive for that. But shit, that's like a common misconception.
Yeah, at the end of the day, meditation, like you said, is just clearing your mind. You don't realize how like more your quality of life will go up because you're not thinking about all the things you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Like you're not stressing about a paper that's due or work or things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you sit down, you really sit there, collect your thoughts, and let yourself just be for like a couple of minutes a day or whatever, 30 minutes, 20 minutes a day. It'll improve your quality of life, bro.
For
100%.
sure. No,
like people don't even realize that. Like it's really like that. And it's like if you do that, like I promise it'll clear up anything you have going on.
Meditate, like I said, you feel me? Like I've said really a lot that I could say about it, but like meditation is really, really, really key. And and I know it sounds like something that like is, you know, kind of like redundant almost, because a lot of people have said to try meditation and like it's just so much easier to like resort to like a vice, especially like a vice like smoking weed. By the way, I know I've used like weed as an example a lot. I'm not against weed at all.
Yeah, definitely not.
Sure. But like weed could be used as a vice for anxiety.
Yeah.
And one thing that shit ain't gonna do is fix your anxiety.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, weed is good for anxiety in a sense, but it's not going to take nothing away from you. It's not going to take away the fact that the thing that you're anxious about is still making you anxious.
Yeah.
And the way that you deal with that is by forming the best habits that you can form within your mind. And you do that by meditating.
Yeah.
And that's simply put, like that's the only way you could really, really do that. I know, and you know, I don't want to make it sound like if you meditate, like you're gonna be okay, like you're automatically just your problems are done. No, you know, you gotta put the work in. You gotta really like commit to making yourself feel better and forming a better quality of life for your anxiety. And whatever comes with that comes with that. It's not gonna be just meditation, but that definitely is a key part of it. And I'm just saying this off of experience.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Feel me?
So on the topic of anxiety, like, when was your first like encounter with anxiety?
So anxiety, shit, I've been dealing with anxiety for, I want to say like, I've been dealing with anxiety probably since I was about 8 years old, I want to say. So like, I just have like a very, it started with, actually, I'm gonna say 7 years old because that's the day that that's the year my dad passed away, when I was 7. So that probably, you know, I was 7, so like I can't really speak to like I don't really have too many fond memories of that time, but like that definitely was probably like the trigger for my anxiety and like what was to come with my anxiety as my life prolonged. And my first moment really feeling like an anxiety attack, I was probably like 8 years old, because I've always just had like a pretty dysfunctional family. Like I never really, don't get me wrong, I love my family, you know, for sure. They're my heart, and I don't, you know, that goes without saying. I just have a pretty dysfunctional family. Not all of us get along, and like to be exposed to a lot of toxicity at a young age.
Yeah.
It like I didn't really know. It put me into like a fight or flight situation, like growing up, and like I didn't know how to handle it, and I just remember being scared for like instinctively would get scared from like 8 years old to like 12 after that. Like that was like my first real 8 years old was probably my first real anxiety memory.
Okay.
Same shit.
And then after that, did it get worse or like?
Shit. So, alright. So, I've been diagnosed with something called GAD, general anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, some shit like that. And I've been in therapy for like anxiety and depression since I was, as long as I can remember, probably about like 13, 14. I still go to this day. Like I am a big like advocate for therapy.
Yeah, definitely.
And because, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But anyway, shit, like my anxiety definitely got better. Like in the sense of, well, I also like I just gotten older and like I've gotten wiser and like I've grown. I've experienced more things. And I'm been exposed to different situations where like my anxiety has played a part in things that I love, such as like I remember like when I played for like my basketball team, every time I would go into a basketball game, which is, mind you, like outside of like competitive basketball, having a basketball and shooting a basketball was like my outlet for years, still is to this day. But whenever I would go into like a organized competitive basketball game, I would have anxiety attacks. And the reason being is because I knew damn well like I didn't want to screw up and end up on a bench.
Yeah.
And that was all that was going through my mind every time I would play basketball. And it was to the point where that's exactly what had happened. I would not be able to perform the way I knew I could perform because my mind would go against me. And that was probably like a really bad time for me. And getting older, like I still played competitive basketball up until like I was about 19. And like I remember when I got cut for the varsity team my junior year of high school, that I went to my therapist and I was like, listen, like there were kids on that team that I knew I was better than, and I really couldn't wrap my head around it. And me and him both came up with the reason why that this was happening, and it was just my anxiety. Like I knew damn well I could make that team and I didn't, and it was because of my anxiety. And that was like the first time I really confirmed that was the reason for me underperforming in basketball, which again was like my safe haven. So as I got older, I developed a lot of coping mechanisms through my therapist.
Yeah.
I've formed different relationships with other people and other people that have been through similar situations, and essentially just grew confidence within myself, the confidence that I had when I wasn't anxious. It kind of took over. Like that confidence that I had, like, overtook the anxiety that I had in certain situations as I got older through these coping mechanisms I just mentioned. And it definitely, I love where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, basketball is still something that I'm always gonna love and cherish. You know, like, if I don't make it in this music shit that I'm doing, which is also a safe haven, I am looking to become a high school basketball coach, and I'm looking to continue with basketball. So basketball has never left my side. Like, it's always been my safe haven. And like, now when it comes to just knowing basketball or even playing basketball, like, I don't get that anxiety anymore, which is growth for me.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what
that's
I mean?
beautiful, bro. It's beautiful, definitely.
Yeah.
You just overcoming all those obstacles that once plagued you to the point where you couldn't play is it's amazing, bro.
And that's just one example.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the first example that just came to my mind. Like, there's been plenty, like, too many. I've had crippling anxiety. I'm like, long story short, like, there was a point in time where I couldn't go and I had an SAT, bro. I had an SAT at like 10 in the morning, like my junior year of high school, and I woke up depressed and like anxious about a whole variety of things. And like, my mom took me to, like, it was at Port Richmond High School, and she took me to Port, and I remember that, like, I remember just like getting to Port, and I was like, Mom, I'm not getting out of this fucking car. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm not getting out of this car. I do not feel up to doing this right now at all. And it was to the point where, like, well, my mom didn't, like, it was so bad to the point where, like, my mom debated, like, taking me to, like, a psychiatric ward, because she didn't really know why the fuck I was acting like this. I didn't know why the hell I was acting like this. And, like, shit, like, mind you, prior to this, like, I've been in therapy for my anxiety and shit. So, like, at this point, I'm like 17, 18. And I've been in therapy since I was like 13 for the same reasons. So it's like, why, like, what is therapy, like, not working? Like, my mom's thinking this. Like, what, like, and there, through that time period, there was a certain scenario which brought me to not want to take that SAT that I'm not really going to speak on right now, because it was very personal at the time. But, and I didn't tell my mom that at the moment. But the gist of it was my anxiety. Like, the anxiety was really got to me. Yeah. And shit, like that, I couldn't take my SAT, bro. Like, that, like, an SAT is what I needed to fucking get into, like, college. Like, like, there ain't no me getting into college without taking that test. So, like, luckily I was able to move to a different date. But shit, like, put into perspective, I couldn't take my damn SAT because of this shit. So
For like the regions and shit like that, like, I'd get like mad nauseous and shit. Like, I'd go in and I'd be sitting there and I'd get mad, like, sweaty and just like, and my anxiety wasn't even like bad at the time. I didn't even know it was anxiety.
Are you typically like a nervous test taker?
Am I?
Or do you not give a fuck about tests?
I
swear I don't give a fuck about tests, bro.
I'm the type that, like, doesn't study. Like, I don't study. I just bet on myself.
And I don't want to hear no bullshit either. I had Dean's List 2 of the last 3 semesters.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck with me.
You know what I'm saying?
And I don't care about tests.
My son doesn't even study, and he still does well, bro. Come on, stop playing. But
nah,
yeah,
fuck
bro.
them tests, though.
I don't even. I didn't even study for, like, region and shit like that. But
bro, I never did, bro.
Yeah, and then that same year, or maybe the year before that, I think I was like 15. The night before one of my regents, like, bro, I remember I think it was a panic attack or something, because I couldn't stop shaking. Like, my body was like vibrating.
Was this like your first panic attack?
It was like
you recognized
type shit, because I had a panic attack before that when I smoked weed for the first time, or like got high for the first time. Okay. That's a fucking story, bro. But yeah, like, that's the first time, like, I didn't know it was anxiety, though. I didn't know it was a panic attack at the time.
Yeah, you never really do. You just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I just stay, like, when I got high for the first time, I had that panic attack. I kind of just was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from weed. I didn't really know it was a panic attack.
Facts.
You know what I mean? same situation with that. I was just like, damn, like it happened. I was Gucci after, and I was like, fuck it, like it is what it is.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like later on in my life where like the recent like year of my life where I really recognized what's going on with me mentally,
bro,
anxiety.
There was times you hit me up like on some bro, like I don't even know how to deal with this type shit. And I was like, bro, I feel you because I've been there. Like, I know exactly what you're going through, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely understand to the extent of in which you fucking had that panic attack, of them panic attacks, I should say.
Yeah, bro, 100%. And you talk about a lot of, like, your anxiety in your music. Like, how does that, like, correlate?
Yeah, bro. So, like, as I alluded to before, like, music is, like, so, like I said, like, basketball was, like, my first, like, love, like, my first safe haven, like, my outlet. It still is. But now, like, I'm an artist. Like I'm a student first. Like, I go to school. Unfortunately, like, a lot of my time is devoted to school. But then, like, I'm an artist. Like, I really take I just love doing what I do. And the reason, like, why I love to make music is because strictly, like, first and foremost, like, it is an expression of me. Like, it is just an outlet for me. It is right up there with basketball, like literally right up there with basketball as big as an outlet, and shit. Like, even if I'm not feeling anxious, like if I'm feeling like I don't know, like excited, or like overexcited, or just like, because too much of anything is bad. So like if I feel too much of an emotion, typically that's when I'm going write a song. So happy, sad, like. Anything, bro.
Just to get your feelings out.
So yeah, like music is just like an expression of me. Every song I put out is very fluent and easy to make, but I take it so seriously because it is literally an expression of me. So when it comes to like anxiety, I just try to I know so like Juice WRLD is like one of my favorite artists of all time. Like R.I.P. Like that is
R.I.P. Juice.
That is one of my favorite artists of all time. Probably like top 3 for me, and like he was. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's not damn near not the first to, bring like mental health into it, but like he touched upon his own personal shit, such as like obviously the drugs and like other shit like that was related to him, and like he just put that shit out there. And a lot of times with anxiety, I put that shit out there the same way because I knew a lot of people could relate to it. I knew it and I just expressed it in my way and like the way that I was feeling. Shit, like I've had people like hit me up like on some like, I know exactly what you meant when you wrote this shit because I feel you. Like I feel what you're rapping about, and that's like genuinely the second reason why I do it. The first reason why I do it is because it's an outlet for me, but the second reason why I do it is to make other people feel like they're not alone almost. And like shit, like my friends tell me, like the people that are closest to me say that like that I'm able to help them with that.
Yeah.
Through music and shit, that's enough for me. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
yeah, 100%.
And yeah, so like I touch on a whole bunch of shit with my music. Like this last project I just dropped, Misunderstood. That shit really, I went into depths about a whole bunch of depression, heartbreak, and shit. Just like I have a song on there called Cold, and that shit is just strictly about just like how bad I was feeling during that time. So like, and you feel me? Like I put songs like that out there so that people that feel the same way do relate to me.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's really it.
Yeah, because honestly, bro, the worst thing, at least for me, is just feeling alone. You know what I mean? Feeling like I'm fucking crazy and like I'm going insane because my mind just plays all these tricks on me, and
nobody understands you.
And nobody understands. That's the worst. That's the worst part about it. Is just no one understands. I could have. Granted, I do have like all the love and support from like my friends and family and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm super grateful for. But like having someone tell me like, yo, I go through the same thing you do. Like I know exactly what you're talking about. Like that's, and hearing it and like listening to other podcasts and even through your music and other people's music is just, it's like, it's comforting just to know like, like, yo, like at least like he knows what I'm going through. That's like, that's good enough for me to know.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? So it's beautiful that people even tell you like, yo,
for
like,
sure,
yo, man, like you, like even I know exactly what you're talking about, and this helped me through whatever time I'm going through. You know what I mean?
Facts. And shit, like that's like what you're describing right now is how I felt like listening to somebody like Juice WRLD. Feel me? Like that's exactly how I felt. I felt understood through music.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to like. I've definitely gotten a lot better with it, with age, but like it's hard for me to kind of like accept people's advice sometimes because in the back of my mind I'm always thinking like shit, like they don't know what the fuck I'm going through. Like why would I listen to them? But at the same time, like sure, now I'm thinking like yeah, they don't know what I'm going through, but shit, I don't know what they're going through either.
Yeah.
So it's like they're talking to me from whatever perspective that they're talking to, and for all I know, it could be that much similar or that much different, and I wouldn't know. So I take everything into like accountability when I'm thinking of people's when I'm going over people's advice and what they gave me. So that's like an issue that I've had. Like I haven't listened to nobody, or I was having a problem listening to people and their advice that they gave me. But through music, was like I got away from that shit. So when I found music that I didn't have to run away from that shit because I was understood through somebody else's music. That was like such an eye-opening feeling for me. Like that was just something that I've never felt from a different artist.
Yeah.
Like than Juice WRLD for real.
No, yeah, 100%. There was a song that I used to listen to by Logic. It was called Anxiety. And in the song, he explains in depth his first panic attack. And like he tells where he was, like how he felt, how he did all this research because he didn't know like what was going on with him. He never felt that type of like anything before in his life. And it was comforting because I was like, yo, like I went through the same shit. I had a panic attack. My first panic attack that I realized like, oh shit, was when did I tell you about it? When I was watching like Attack on Titan.
Yep.
Yeah. That shit was wild, bro. Like that, I really thought, bro. I swear to God, I thought I was gonna drop dead that day, bro. I swear.
Because you're panicking, bro.
Yeah, I went to the hospital. And
you
everything.
Don't know why the fuck you're panicking. It's like, damn, this shit just came the fuck out of nowhere. Like,
I was like, yo, like my heart is like fucking about to beat out my chest type shit, bro. And ever since then, it was just
stories too, bro. Let me tell you, when I was on the bus one time, I was coming home from fucking Kingsborough. I used to go to Kingsborough in Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay, and I live on the island, so I would take 2 buses home. So long story short, bro, like in the morning, it was actually my first day of the new semester, and for some reason it was fucking freezing. Like it was so cold. So my dumb ass I took coffee to go like on the bus, like hot coffee. Took that to go. I drank it. I get off the first bus. I'm like, damn, it's cold. Let me go get another fucking coffee. Got another coffee. Boom, drank it. I get into class. I'm a little warmed up at this point, but then I get into the building, I'm a little warmed up, but then I get into the classroom, and that shit is freezing, so I buy another fucking large-ass coffee.
Oh, no.
Bro, mind you, I do not drink coffee, bro.
Yeah.
It was just warm, and I feel like I wasn't thinking about hot chocolate.
Yeah, I was going to say hot chocolate.
I wasn't thinking about that shit. Like, now I be getting that shit. But, and so, like, throughout the day, like, I feel myself mad focused and, like, there. But like also like jittery, obviously, and like you know, hyper. But like I don't care how hyper I get, I'm always be able to like, well, not always, but like I'm good at controlling myself like when I'm hyper. But I'm getting on the bus home. The first bus, I'm fine. I get on the second bus. All of a sudden, bro, like there was no seats. So now I'm standing on this fucking bus and it gets packed and packed and packed. I'm looking down at my phone and I look up and like there is nowhere for me to like fucking move type shit. Like I'm cramped. So, bro, I just felt my heart, out of nowhere, my heart just started racing.
Yeah.
And then, like, for some reason, like, everything I would look at, like, scared me. Like, I was just so frightened. And, like, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. So, like, now we get to the stop before the bridge. To the very end, I'll get back to the island. We get on that, we get right to that stop. And when I get off, I said to myself, I gotta get off this bus and call an ambulance. So I had 911 dialed, and I got off the bus, and I was about to click it and like to get an ambulance, and I'm like, wait, I'm literally looking at the bridge, like the bridge is right here. What I'm gonna do is, mind you, my heart is racing, but I'm able to think a little logically here. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna get on this. Luckily, there's a bus right behind that. I'm gonna get on this bus, get over the fucking bridge. If by the time I get over the bridge, I'm on the island now. By the time I get over the bridge, if I still feel like I'm about to have a fucking heart attack, I'm gonna get off and call an ambulance.
Yeah.
but like I guess subconsciously, like I knew like it was my anxiety. So like I stayed on that bus, and like I sat down, like there was a place to sit, and like I just felt, so I was able to enter my mind, and like I was just like, wait, why did oh, it was the coffee I drank, like because when caffeine is a drug that if you don't take it a lot, you're not, you feel me, you're gonna feel the side effects from that shit. And I was jittery, I was bugged out, like I was really bugging like off caffeine, and like I was able to recognize it. But like shit, like that was the scariest like panic story that like I have, because I genuinely thought I was gonna die.
Yeah, bro. I ever told you
off
about
caffeine.
I ever told you about the time. And you know what? Before I get into that, it's good that you were able to like pinpoint exactly where it came from. Like I'm in therapy too, so I've talked to my therapist about things like that, and it's called like reality testing. Like instead of just going straight to like, oh, I'm about to fucking die, like you sit there and you're like, wait a second, let me really think this through. And you thought it through. You were like, listen, it was definitely the coffee that's making me this anxious. And that bro, that shit's, it's crazy because like in the moment when you have anxiety, like when you're having a panic attack or something like that, you don't know what's going on. You don't really you don't rationally think about anything. All you know is what you feel, and what you're feeling is a heart attack, and you're like, so you automatically just, oh, I'm having a heart attack. You know what I mean? Before you even think about anything else.
Yeah, and mind you, my dad passed away from a heart attack.
Okay.
So shit, like I don't play about my heart. Like I'm in the cardiologist like 3 times a year, like on some dumb shit. Like I don't even, like my cardiologist like, yo, like wow, you was just here like 6 months ago. I'm like, motherfucker, like don't ask me nothing like that again. Like my dad, you feel me? But nah, like I don't play about that shit.
Nah, 100, bro, 100. Ever since I started having these panic attacks, I've been in a cardiologist. I feel the same way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, I went to the doctor more in this past year than I have in the past 5 years. It's crazy, bro. And so I don't think I ever told you the time like my worst panic attack I've ever had was when I was driving back from upstate, and I was with my grandmother.
You were driving? I
was driving, yeah. I was driving back from upstate, and I was on the Brooklyn Bridge, bro. And
was it your first time on the Brooklyn Bridge?
No. That
bridge is a little tough at first.
A little, yeah.
When you first ever drive it, it's a little narrow.
But I've driven that bridge. No, you good. I've driven on the bridge plenty of times, bro. So like,
okay,
I'm driving, and all of a sudden, like, I start feeling this like numb feeling, bro. And then like, bro, like it just overtakes my
in your
body,
chest?
like my whole body, bro.
The numb feeling was in your. Like you can't pinpoint where it was?
No, it was all over my body, bro. My hands,
Sheesh.
My head, my feet,
That's
my
scary.
Bro, my whole body, bro. All of a sudden, my hands lock up. I can't, bro. My hands lock up and my jaw locks up. I can't speak, bro.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to like, I'm freaking out. I'm with my grandma. I'm like, grandma, oh my god, I'm having a panic attack on the fucking Brooklyn Bridge. Damn. And I'm like, yo, I gotta pull over.
On the bridge?
On the bridge. No, I didn't pull over on the bridge. I ended up getting off. Like I was able to get off. But like I pulled over, like
you was going into Brooklyn, right?
I was going into Brooklyn.
Get on the BQE to get to Island.
Yeah. My grandmother, she lives in Red Hook, so like
okay,
I was trying to drop her
right
off.
There, it's right there, it's right off.
So like I tried to get off, so I pulled over to the side type shit, and I was like, and I got out the car, and I was pacing back and forth. I'm like, yo, I'm freaking out. I was like, yo, I'm having a stroke. Like I can't speak. I'm trying to use my phone. I'm like this, bro. Like I deadass can't use my phone. You're
tweaking,
yeah, bro. And then it went away.
and then how'd you, like, what was your reaction when you realized that it was going?
Bro,
like, let me get my ass back in this car, drive grandma home.
Yeah.
So you didn't really have the time to think about it too much.
Not really. Like I knew it was my anxiety. Like I've experienced a panic attacks while I was driving before. So like
once it was confirmed, it was like
once I already knew it was my anxiety. So I was like, fuck it, let me get back in this car. I gotta go back home. You know what I'm saying? Like I ended up going back home that same night, and I was Gucci. It's just like I said, you don't really know. Like you can't reality test anything like while it's happening, because
it's hard.
You don't. All you know is what you feel.
Off what you feel. That's
exactly.
All you can really do.
And that's the hard part, bro. That's the hard part. So since you've been through all these things, like what do you do to like help when you feel that way? Like what helps you like kind of get out that mindset?
So, all right. So we're talking about anxiety. So when I'm anxious, a lot of the times that I'm anxious, or when usually I'm gonna go as far as to say, like, a lot of times when people are feeling anxiety, it is due to the irrational thoughts that are going on in their mind.
Definitely.
And I've, through years of like that understanding, the gaining that understanding, I should say, I've kind of trained my mind to identify whether it is irrational or rational, the reason for my anxiety. And more times than not, like it's very rare that my anxiety is caused by anything rational. So most of the time when it's irrational, I kind of just try to keep myself busy, whether that be like going to the gym, like whatever my hobbies are. Luckily, like now, like I work a lot. So like whenever I do fall into that anxiety trap, like I'm usually working and like I'm usually just like I gotta stay focused on like this kid or this task. Like I'm usually like locked in there. But like sometimes when I'm home, like a lot of times I get anxiety at night. I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
So like you'll be in bed just thinking, and that's when it's hardest.
Yeah,
because you're not really like can't really do much. It's time to go to bed. Like you gotta be up now. Like I gotta be up at 6:30. But now it's 2 a.m. I've been up like fucking 3 hours trying to fucking figure out why the fuck I'm anxious right now, or not even why, but like how do I go about this right now because I got nowhere to go. Like I gotta just knock out. Bro. And then you lose sleep, and then you have the anxiety of losing sleep, and bro, it's like a never-ending fucking cycle. So what I try to do is like, I try to if it gets really really bad, I'm gonna meditate. If it gets really really bad, I'm gonna meditate. Like I said, and I think that should be the first option. And for me, it's not when I'm trying to sleep because I like I said, like it takes energy, and if I don't have the energy, like I kind of like. I don't want to say full victim because it's like my choice, but like I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm just not gonna like try to gain that energy to meditate. I'm gonna try to think it through, and that isn't good advice for anybody. If what I would do in a logical standpoint is I would meditate. And when I meditate, it really puts like at night, like when I have nowhere to go, I find myself in the moment, and I realize that I'm okay.
Okay.
And that's just, but I say it so easy, like it's so much easier said than done.
No, yeah.
Meditation takes practice. I'll harp on that until I'm blue in the face. Like that shit takes practice. Sorry for a long answer, but like that's genuinely like what I do.
I appreciate that because
that's my process type shit.
Meditation, but like you have to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So like as long as you're doing it consistently, and it's like and it'll work eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to keep doing it. Just clear your mind, do what you got to do, and it'll work. You know
Listen,
what I mean?
For anybody watching this shit, like I'm gonna assume that like I'm not gonna assume, but like if you have any vices, whether that be like weed, alcohol, or anything else that you may partake in when you're feeling down or anxious or depressed or anything like that, I strongly advise you to meditate for the simple fact that it is the number one way to completely organize your thoughts. And that is how you beat anxiety.
Yep.
Organizing your thoughts. Depression, anything is by organizing your thoughts. You don't organize your thoughts by putting them to the side or doing things to get your mind off of it. You got to really pinpoint and hone in and put yourself first and really just live in the moment. And it takes practice, you know. It don't come overnight, but like it's so important, and it's not talked upon a lot. Same with therapy. But like shit, luckily I had a family that put me in therapy, and eventually like I was able to gain these proper techniques to cope with my anxiety and other shit. I've never been one to smoke weed.
Yeah, no.
And I'm honestly, like, don't get me wrong, look, all of my fucking friends do, but like me myself, I haven't been, because like it's just another vice that like I'd be exposing myself to that I don't need. Like I'm good without it. And shit, like that's really my main reason why I don't smoke, because like I'm afraid like I'll become reliant on that.
Yeah.
And shit, like I don't need to, bro. Like nobody needs to. I'd rather do it the right way, for real.
Yeah, just have fun. You know what I mean? I can't smoke because that shit, bro. When I smoke, I get more anxious. Like it makes me more anxious. I can't do that shit.
You know why, bro? That shit expands your brain and like exposes you to like the shit that you don't want to fucking think about. You know.
Yeah.
We I'm gonna go hold you like though. Like it might sound like I'm shitting on weed. Like weed is very fucking beautiful in a sense.
No,
like,
definitely. Yeah.
Like the way that shit expands. I'm not gonna make this about weed, but like the way it expands your fucking brain and like exposes you to like other shit. Like when you're high.
You feel more. You
crazy.
Feel more, and you just think more.
I'm about to say, yo, honestly, you might have to cut this because I'm about to sound mad stupid because I actually never smoked before.
You never smoked before?
So like, I just know all of this because like number one, I studied it. Like I'm knowledgeable on this shit, and number two, everybody in my family, all of my friends, do it. So like, I just know. Like I don't need to smoke to like know that.
Yeah.
But like facts, like.
I personally experienced it, and it's just not for me. No shade to anyone that smokes. If you smoke, do your thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? That shit is lit. You know what I mean? Like, but at the end,
that's what I'm trying to say.
But for me
like,
though, like, I can't do that shit.
And shout to the, you know what I mean? Like, and the way I was saying it, like, the way I kind of made it sound like weed is just a fucking reliant for anxiety. No,
nah.
Weed is recreational use. Weed is lit.
OD,
you feel me?
OD.
Like, weed is fucking lit, bro. I ain't gonna sit here and hold you like. Nah, like definitely shout out those who smoke and get their shit done. You feel me? And just smoke, smoke. Fuck all that. You feel
Fuck
me?
all that bullshit, bro. But you want to leave the people with any advice? You know what I'm saying? Anything you can give them?
Yeah. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody.
Definitely.
So there's a couple things I'm gonna say. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody that you feel could help you. You're never a burden. I've dealt with that, bro. I still deal with that too. Like I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
It takes real growth for me. I'm saying for me, it took real growth and maturity to put myself in the place where I could reach out and say, "Yo, bro, like I'm not doing well right now." And it's funny because I tweeted this today. I said something along the lines of like, it's very important to not only like making yourself available, like say like you are anxious, right? And like I'm like, yo, bro, like I'm here for you if you need me. That is what I like to call the bare minimum. Do not be afraid to be that friend to say to somebody who you know is hurting one way or another and be like, yo, what, like initiate, like what's going on? Like you're not gonna talk about it. So like what's going on? Because that's how we get somewhere. You don't know, like people don't know how much energy it takes for a motherfucker that's broken to reach out to somebody and be like, yo, like I need help.
Definitely. Yeah.
That shit is crazy. Like, bro, that shit, it takes strength.
No,
damn well, when I'm depressed, when I'm down, I'm not reaching. Like, I don't want to, like, bring you into this. Like, I don't, you feel me? Like, that shit takes energy. And guess what? I'm hurting myself by not doing that. So, be that friend that reaches out and make sure that they know that not only are you there, like, I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm like, what's going on? Like, no more like, I'm here if you need me. Nah, like, what's going on? Because, like, more times than not, that person needs that.
Yeah.
Rather than the bare minimum.
No, I want it, bro, because I'm glad you said that, because, like, at the end of the day, like, when I was first going through what I was going through, like, I didn't want to tell nobody, bro. Like, because I sound fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but at the end of the day, you're not crazy. It's people go through this shit all the time. And it's just having that support system is key, bro. It's key. Along with like having people that understand what you're going through. You need people that support you. You know what I'm saying? That can be there for you. And just saying like, yo, I'm there if you need me, bro. Like, you need to do more. Like that's cool. but somebody
bro,
that's going
a random
through,
motherfucker would tell me that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not shitting on nobody that like does this and genuinely means it, because I'm sure.
No, yeah,
that,
definitely, 100%.
But like, it's not enough, bro.
It's not, because like somebody that's really going through anxiety, depression, panic, if you just say like, yo, I'm there if you need me, they're gonna be like, all right, bet.
Cool, thank you.
And then
we're gonna go our separate ways. And guess what I'm gonna do? Fall into my fucking hole that I'm still in.
If somebody is like, yo, what's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah.
You don't understand. Like, talking to somebody when you're going through like a panic attack or like anxiety or depression, it helps so much, bro. Like, tremendously.
Yeah.
Like, I literally, like, when I'm going through a panic attack, I'll tell my girlfriend, talk to me. Please talk to me.
Because now my mind's gonna get off it if you talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. So like you don't understand how much that helps people, bro. Like, for real.
To be honest, like, I don't know if I expressed it like enough while like being on the show, but like, man, like more times than not in my life, and it's sad to say, but like more times than not in my life, I recall me being more sad than happy, and that shit is for real. Like I'm not just saying that like to say it or to sound like that is genuinely the truth. Like, I've just been more sad than not, you know, and it took a lot of reflection and understanding of what was needed for me and needed of me to get myself to a place where I don't have to be that way anymore.
Yeah.
There's way more people that aren't fortunate the way I am than fortunate the way that I am. There's way more people that don't know what the fuck to do, that are just lost, that are stuck, and there are motherfuckers that know that kind of just leave it alone. And like a lot of a point that I want to make real quick is that like when you see people on social media like fucking crying, and a lot of people feel like it's for fucking like either clout or just like wanting attention or of some sort, shit, like sometimes you're not wrong. Sometimes it is, people do that for like attention and shit like that. But a lot of times, like, we are in a generation where a lot of motherfuckers are depressed. A lot of motherfuckers don't have anywhere to turn to. They're not gonna reach out to nobody and express their problems. They don't have therapists. They don't know what to do. So they're gonna go on social media and and a lot of people view them as weak for that. That is their way of being strong. And I feel like that narrative needs to change. But I'm not saying it's a good scapegoat, because again, like, I'm not for I'm for tweeting your problems, but I'm also for reaching out and doing things the right way. You feel me? That's not necessarily the right way, but for some people, that's their way of being strong, and people need to understand that more and understand that they're being resilient, not looking for fucking any attention.
Yeah, 100%. Especially in the world we live in now, with the pandemic and everything, like anxiety and depression and all these different things that come with mental health. It's gone up, obviously, because people are going through a lot more.
Bro.
Us as a collective, we need to understand, like, mental health is so important, especially now, bro. Like,
now more than ever are our insecurities in our face, our depression in our face, like things that we don't like about ourselves are in our face. And like, where now that like we're getting back to a sense of normalcy, it's like people have changed, and like people have now been exposed to their own insecurities, and like they go about things differently, and like we're in a time that we need the most help that we can get through everybody that claims they support us. And shit, yeah, like it's time. Like, it really is time to not to fucking fault nobody, not to like look at nobody as weak or nothing like that. It's time to fucking reach out and help somebody. Like, definitely. That now is the time to do that.
Yeah, bro. If you guys know anybody that needs to help or anything like that, bro, please reach out. Don't be afraid to be that friend, to be like, yo, what's up?
Shit, yo.
Talk to me.
And yo, fuck, like, bro, like, if you're not gonna do it, like, reach out to something, like, at least let somebody who does and like who will reach out to that person know.
Yeah,
like, if you're gonna be like, if you're gonna see it and ignore it, which you should never do, at least fucking give it to somebody else. Like, yo, this person is upset. I think you should talk to them.
100%.
Like, make the fucking effort. That goes a long way.
It definitely does.
Shit, I'll reach out to fucking anybody. I don't give a fuck. Like, feel me? I don't care at all. I'm always posting on my story. Like, have a good day. Like, if you need somebody, I'm here. DM's always open. Like, I'm always doing that.
100%.
That is the way. That is what I needed. And like, I never got that. So it's like, I would love to be that person for somebody else.
100%. You see my gram, bro. Like, I'm always posting like about how people are feeling and mental health and shit like that. So
Facts.
People know, like, yo, if you need somebody to talk to about these things, hit me up.
Facts, bro.
I will. You know, like, I will literally talk you guys through anything, bro. This is why I made this podcast, this platform, is to help people. You know what I'm saying? So,
and it's
like,
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, bro. I really gotta commend you for that, bro, because that is like something that, like, shit, a lot of people don't have the guts to do, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
This, bro, ever since I started having the like anxiety attacks, panic attacks, whatever you want to call them, bro. Like this is what I wanted to do since I had this idea a year ago, bro. Like this is what I wanted to do. But yo, I think we should end it right here. Thank you for being on, Jaymin, for real.
Facts.
I appreciate you so much, bro.
Facts,
Thank you,
bro. Thank you for having me. And real quick,
course.
my gram, Nick Jaymin, NickJaymin. Shit, like anybody ever need me, first and foremost, like just follow me. Like I never hesitate to answer anybody that's in like just wants to talk about anything, unless you like feel me, like not you don't have that intent, you just being like weird or some shit. Like you feel me? Like I don't like using that word, but like if you need to talk to somebody, my shit is always open. My DMs is always open. On all social medias, like that's my gram. My Twitter is Jaymin11, Jaymin 11_. Hit me anywhere, like you feel me. Like I'm always gonna be there to answer. I'll never hesitate. You feel me? And shit, like my music I really touch upon this shit. So like tap in. Like I feel like a lot of the shit that I put out is very relatable to a lot of people that go through certain situations that we spoke about today.
Yeah, 100%.
So, shit, like use me as a resource, like use me as a tool, because growing, like there have been times where I needed them tools that I didn't get them, so I'll be obliged to be that tool for anybody.
Yep.
And that's really, I know you feel the same way, bro.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
But yeah, bro, I really appreciate you having me, bro, because
of course.
Shit, like this is something that I'm big on, and I didn't even have to tell you, like you knew that I was big on it. That's why I was grateful enough to be the first person on this podcast. So I appreciate that, bro, for real.
Yeah, of course, man. I appreciate you coming up and being brave enough to talk about these things.
Facts,
you know what I mean?
bro. Facts.
All right, man. We got it. I'll see y'all next episode. Deuce.